Assalamu alaikum and welcome we are so happy to have you here with us on this beautiful Tuesday where we are creating literally history as it were. Ribāṭ University is the world's only global university for women by women, and I'm here with the beautiful founder and the vision behind Ribāṭ University, Dr. Tamara Gray. You can read more about her on our website, ribat.rabata.org, to learn more about her beautiful publications that will truly change your life. Welcome, Dr. Tamara Gray.
Thank you. Lovely Nadia. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited to talk about Ribāṭ University. I feel like this live stream is directed at the student who either has been looking at Ribāṭ University and thinking, should I apply to that? And maybe they might feel a little intimidated. And it's also at that person who maybe hasn't heard yet about Ribāṭ University or heard a little bit, but doesn't really know where to go to ask the questions that they have. So that's the plan for the next about an hour. I will start out. First of all, I have a story to tell you that includes a little yellow house and a few other fun facts. And then I will take some questions. And I hope by the end of this little live session that everybody who is attending and also those who will watch it later will have their questions answered. And if not, they can go to heather@rabata.org, who is our Dean of Admissions, and ask all the questions that they might have. Does that sound good?
Perfect. I love it. I can't wait to hear this beautiful yellow house story.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So in 2012, it's a long time ago, 2012, I had just come back to the United States from Syria because of the war in Syria. Alhamdulillah for liberation. And I spent months figuring out what am I going to do now here. First, I thought I was going to go back in a few months, and then I realized that wasn't going to happen and tried to get a job here, tried to get a job there. And at one point, I was in this little yellow house in West St. Paul next door to my brother. It had a fireplace. It had a cute little 3-season porch. It had a magnolia tree in the backyard. It was really cute. I was a renter, but it was Allah's gift to me, really, in a time of grief and difficulty that I had this lovely place to be. And I remember in this house crying really sad about Syria and thinking, what can I do? I can't do anything. And frustrated that I can't do anything to help Syria. I was also, of course, in that sort of survivor's guilt that here I am, I'm okay. And my beloved people that I love so much, they're in the middle of the war. And at that moment, I was like, what am I going to do? What can I do here? What can I do? And it was at that moment that Rabata was born, really, because that's where I said, okay, I can't help Syria, but I can take what Syria gave me and give it back to Muslim women in the United States. So that moment in 2012 became Rabata. Rabata started out as the Academic Institute, very, very intentionally giving a solid Islamic studies education to women, along with tarbiyah, and also along with fun, because I love fun. It's one of my values, I think, this whole idea of life should be joyful. As you know, I wrote a book called Joy Jobs. Anyway, so during those years, there were a couple of different times where that dream started to expand. And one of them was in a board meeting in Houston where we talked about, actually it was even before that, in 2015, the board of Rabata had a meeting and said, inshallah, by 2025, we'll have a university.
And look where we are, right?
And we found those notes later, by the way. Mashallah, 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 Allah has blessed us. Anyway, then later on in Houston, we had the conversation. I remember one of our board members saying to me, keep good records because this will be history in the making, as you earlier.
Yeah.
This is the moment. This is the moment. And so I'm inviting you, Nadia, too, and everybody else to be part of history and be part of the very first class at Ribāṭ University.
You know, when we announced this live was going live, I had friends messaging me like, "Hey, what are you applying for?" And I was like, "I want to apply for everything. What do you mean?" Like, there's just so many good things.
Yes, that's actually true. Like, I developed the curriculum and I still would like to go and
Definitely.
all of it. You know, one of the reasons that this became a very important project to me, well, I have a lot of reasons, but one of them, it started expanding. You know, we have seminaries that are giving degrees, but I realized we don't have anyone who is there to remind us that the secular and the sacred are never separated. Muslims, we were not of the people that separated this. And it was something that was important to us, that we recognize that the sacred and the secular are one. What is secular is sacred. What is sacred is secular. We don't have this division. And so the 7 majors for the bachelor's degree are very important to me because we can learn secular things under the umbrella of sacredness. You know, something else that became very important to me is I started hearing about debt. How so many Muslim women, they want to get married, they're getting married, they want to have children, but they have debt from college. Mm-hmm. And they feel like they need to keep working. Some women, they want to keep working, but those who didn't want to, they didn't know what to do about their debt. And I kept thinking about that because we don't talk about debt as an ummah. We don't talk about school debt. And I asked myself, how can we offer something that offers that higher education, that very excellent practical education, an education that can be used for work, for community stewarding, for helping the ummah, impacting the ummah, and also not put the student in debt at all, because the tuition becomes something more reasonable. We don't have to fit in to the oppressive systems that we are in. We don't have to let me put it this way. We don't have to recreate them. We don't have to recreate them. Yeah. So that was one of the really important pieces of building this. So right now, the tuition for the bachelor's and the associate is only $5,000 a year. $5,000 a year. And so that was a really very important thing. And the third thing I want to tell you, so we have secular and sacred, we have affordability. And the third thing is, I have been doing a study of the different religious communities in America ever since I got back in 2012. And I've been doing that informal study mostly because I wanted to learn, what do we need to know? And one of the results of that thinking, or that study, has been to notice that as an ummah, at least in the West, we have a tendency to wait for the problem and then try to solve it. So we have fires that we want to put out all the time, but we're not doing enough to prevent fires. So I asked myself, what are other religious communities doing? And I noticed that what the Christian community is doing is they are providing higher education in a safe environment for their Christian children and the students that come to those universities. And so I started thinking about that concept of safety and protection and spiritual protection, being protected from so many of the thinking that is part and parcel of an oppressive system, and how it confuses our young people. I thought about, those kids that have been home for 18 years, homeschooled, and then we just throw them out into the world. Like, where's the place? Go ahead. Yeah,
that's where I'm exactly confused, because last year, both of my daughters started Islamic school, and that's been the biggest shift for us, is noticing how confident they've gotten in their faith and how safe they feel around this. Confidently showing up in their hijabs and everything. So, you're solving a big problem for a lot of us moms too, is like, now I've got a safe place to send my daughter.
Yes, so. Yes. And also the moms, like, we want to flood the ummah with women who have confident study, like they've studied their faith, and they can lead a halaqah. They can lead a halaqah. They can teach in the weekend school. I see questions coming in, so I'll get to them in just a moment. They can teach in the weekend school. They can, there's so many things they can do with confidence, and also in health, like the Hippocratic Oath for the medical field, this idea of help and not harm. We should be raising da'iyas, du'at, mothers of the ummah who are ready to help and not harm, because we desperately need this. Yeah.
Joyfully, though.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. That's part of the helping and not harming, right? Can I see that question again that came across the screen by any chance? Okay. Yes. Alaikum salam rahmatullah. What is the workload expected at Ribāṭ University? Great question. So we are a university at the BA level, at the college level. It should be equivalent to any other university level work. We are seeking accreditation, and as part of seeking accreditation, the workload has to equal a certain amount for each credit. And so we've built a curriculum that matches that. Now, what does that mean in practical terms? It means that for every 3 credit class you take, you should consider that you are going to have to do preparation work for that class, attend that class, and do homework for that class to the equivalent of something around 9 hours a week. Now, that sounds scary for many women who are working from home or living at home, have kids, and they're working and everything else. But I will say that much of that work can be done in flex time. So if you think that we have 160 hours in our week, and you can fit that in at night and in the morning and in the afternoon, what have you, in your own flex time, it becomes something much more manageable. And remember, you don't have to get in the car and drive to the university. You get to click on your computer and attend. And we have a really good reputation at our Ribat Academic Institute, which is morphing into Ribāṭ University. We have a great reputation for making you feel like you're in a classroom. And there's building community and a sense of presence in that classroom. And now we have Canvas, so that's been even more helpful in building that, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's really personalized, everything. I love this question is, are you for female students only?
Yeah, we are by women for women. So that is actually part of the historic amazingness of Ribāṭ University, that we are for women students only, and our teachers will only be women. Our administration is only women. Our board is made up of women. We are by women for women. So we are a very unique experience and a very healthy and very, it's like a relief. It's like a lot of the stress you don't even know you're carrying with you, you get to sort of leave at the door when you come and walk into the metaphorical doors of Ribāṭ University.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. And so can the classes we've already done through Rabata go towards the teacher certificate, or is there a new path?
Oh, great question. So, all right. So I have a 2-pronged answer for this. One is that anything that you have done at Ribat Academic Institute, okay, any class you've taken and completed, so you have to have completed the class, and you've completed that class, will count for you as Islamic knowledge when you apply for the master's. So if you're coming to the graduate certificate or the master's and you have taken our classes, that's counting for you as those prerequisites, and you're going to be accepted, inshallah, as long as everything else is good, into those graduate level programs. Now, the second part of the question is, can I use them for credit in the bachelor's or in the associate's? The answer to that is both yes and no. If you have taken classes in the past, you will be able to use those credits for the first 2 years. After that, they will no longer be able to be applied because of the accreditation rules. We'll have to start with the classes that you start taking this year. So let's say, Nadia, you took a class 2 years ago at Ribat Academic Institute, and you now want to get a bachelor's in business, organizational leadership, and development. Okay? All right? And you, along with that, you want an Islamic studies minor. You've taken Aqidah and you've taken Sirah and Fiqh at Ribat Academic Institute. Those credits would count in now, because if you started this year, they would count and you would not have to retake them. All right?
Awesome. Okay.
But if you say, oh, I don't want to start yet, I'm going to wait 3 years, then I'm going to start. At that point, we will no longer be able to take the older credits. You would have to take those classes again. No, you would have already benefited. That's fine. However, if you applied for a master's 3 years from now, you could show us evidence that you have a background in Islamic studies. You see the difference? And so help you get accepted into the master's. So one is answering the question of, can I use them for credit? And the other is answering the question of, can I use them as a background? One more additional piece. If you take Riverstead, which Ribat Academic Institute, it will now be known as Ribat Riverstead. If you take Riverstead classes going forward, those classes will count in the future as credit, because now we have fixed them so that they are fully in line or aligned with accreditation rules. So that's how we're doing this, so that it will work. And also you will notice that once Riverstead is launched, some are for credit and some are not. So the ones that are for credit can count, and the ones that are not would not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And so someone actually asked, I've already got a bachelor's. Do you recommend I go for a master's or another bachelor's?
That really depends. So it really, I'm recommending for people whose bachelor's is in science or something like that, I think it would be a good idea to do a bachelor's. If their goal is a master's in Islamic belief and practice, it's a good idea to go ahead and get another bachelor's in Islamic belief and practice or Islamic teachings and traditions, because it's going to give you a whole new world of thinking and reading and writing and things like this that will really enrich the master's later. Is it necessary? Absolutely necessary? No, it is not. But we have had some applicants who wanted to do the master's and didn't have a strong background in Islamic studies. So what we've done for them is said, okay, we're accepting you here, but here are some classes in order to graduate you'll have to take to boost to make sure that you are fully ready to do that master's. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think also one more thing I'll add to that is I have some folks, for example, who have done a degree in psychology. They're a psychologist or a therapist already, but they really would like to take classes that are rooted in Islamic studies. And one of our majors is applied psychology. So I would recommend for them that they take a few drop-in classes. We have some rules around that of how many you can take per semester and all of this without actually fulfilling the entire application process. I don't remember what the rules are off the top of my head, but Heather will be here and she'll answer that question. But that would also work. So you don't have to do the whole degree, but you could do some of those bachelor level classes. But you would only be able to do that if you already had a bachelor's. You see what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a bachelor's, you can't pop in and take those classes.
Well, and that's exactly what someone's wondering is, can I audit university classes that I want to take for fun without applying for the program?
Yes. Yes, you can. That's my answer. How to do it, we have to wait for Heather. I should have done my homework on that before we started this live.
And Heather is our Dean of Admissions. She will be joining us shortly. She is actually working on her own PhD. So that she can lead us all to success, inshallah.
Ameen.
Can you be a part-time? Oh, here's one. Sorry. Can you do a monthly payment plan for fees for all degrees?
That's a very important question. Thanks for asking that. So our tuition is $5,000 a year, which is, for anyone who's tuning in from another country, that is ridiculously reasonable. In the United States, most college degrees are $20,000 to $50,000 a year. So $5,000 a year, when we're comparing, that seems like very little. But I know that most of us do not have $5,000 just ready to pop in to something we want to do. So we do have payment plans. Absolutely. You can pay by month. You could pay by quarter. There are different ways that you can pay. But definitely we do have that payment plan so that the $5,000 becomes even more reasonable, and you could be working and studying at the same time with ease.
So a few of us from my cohort, we're inshallah all planning to graduate this upcoming year. We've all been wondering, like, once we graduate with this teaching certification, what's our next step? Like, what do we do from here?
Well, I mean, for those of you, so you're also making history because you're the final class to graduate from the Ribat Academic Institute. And that particular certificate that you're graduating with is now being split into 2 different certificates. And so you are now, like, with that certification, you're definitely qualified to move into, for example, as taking a job as a female resident scholar, teaching in Islamic schools, working in nonprofits with really good advice that is rooted in Islamic thinking. And for further education, you would definitely qualify. As long as you have a bachelor's, you would qualify to apply for the master's in theological studies. So I welcome you, and I'm excited to teach you. I mean, I know for this year, I'm going to be taking a lot of the classes, teaching a lot of the classes. So it's also an opportunity to learn with me, because in the future, I'm hoping and imagining that we will expand and have even more teachers, and they will be wonderful. But, you know, there's something fun about those early years and that closeness that develops in those first years. Yeah.
Inshallah.
What else you got?
So someone's saying they want to know a little bit more about each degree.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's talk about the degrees. So we have the Associate of Arts degree. Now, that's a 2-year degree in the United States, and we have 3 possible associates that one could take. One is an associate's degree in Islamic Studies and Liberal Arts. Another is an associate 2-year degree in teaching Arabic. I highly recommend this to anyone who has Arabic. They're teaching Arabic in weekend schools. Come and learn some teaching methodologies, strengthen your background so you have your degree in teaching Arabic. We also have an AA degree in teaching Islam. Okay, all of these are meant to strengthen our Islamic Sunday schools, our weekend schools, and our weekly full-time schools, or even homeschooling moms. If you're a homeschooling mom, this is a quick degree you can take to really strengthen your foundation. Then we have our bachelor's. Now, for our bachelor's, we have 7. Let's count them together. 7 possible majors. We have Islamic Teachings and Traditions. That's your Islamic Studies degree. And it's just a beautiful degree that you will be ready for advanced learning, and you will be ready for advanced thinking as a Muslim woman who has been educated with the sort of way of thinking of the Ummah, moving into scholarship. We have a bachelor's in Applied Pedagogy and Innovative Learning. How much you love that name? That's our education degree. Well, Apple, yeah, Apple.
I love that it's an apple and there's the teacher. It's like the imagery is beautiful.
And it's so important as we consider what's happening in the future of our Ummah. How are we helping the future of this Ummah? Raising teachers who can bring together the sacred and the secular, teachers who know how to teach, teachers who have a strong background in Islamic studies and have Arabic, at least some Arabic. These teachers are going to change the face of Islamic schools in the United States, inshallah. And worldwide. This university is open worldwide. So worldwide, it will change the face of Islamic education and even just education amongst Muslims. Also, inshallah. We also have a bachelor's, I mentioned, in applied psychology. And we have a bachelor's degree in Arabic language, literature, and linguistics. Very important degree. We've got to preserve the Arabic language for our Ummah. And I highly encourage anyone who's listening today to really consider taking that Arabic degree. We've got to raise up a generation of women who understand Arabic, can work with Arabic, can teach Arabic, understand the thinking involved in the Arabic language. We've got to preserve this. This is our connection to the Quran, our connection to the words of the Prophet ﷺ, our connection to our heritage books, and it is our immunization against Islamophobia.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is we have also our BOLD degree, Business, Organizational Leadership and Development. This is a degree for all of those who would like to influence in nonprofits or businesses, really want to be able to run a solid business, maybe social entrepreneurship, and you want to have a strong background in that's rooted in Islamic leadership and Islamic thinking. And 2 more. One is History and Future Studies, because why do we study history? But because we want to impact the future. So instead of having just a history degree, but you will learn your Islamic history there in a way you never thought imaginable, you also will be able to study future studies so you can understand how to apply that learning to the future. and the literature writing and publishing degree, which I'm telling you, power 5-6 years from now, maybe even less, is going to be in the hands of those who can read and write.
Mm-hmm.
The way things are happening now, reading and writing and speaking and communicating is going to be a power move. And so we have a degree in literature, writing, and publishing. I also invite everyone to join. So that's our undergraduate, okay?
Okay.
Now, all of those, because it's an American liberal arts university, will have your core competencies. And we've got some really fun classes there, amazing classes there that you can study. Sorry, I thought I lost connection for a moment. Including art, including books that change the world, including a class about, there's a science class coming around the bend that thinks about science and miracles and things like that. We've got one in women's health. We have a class in the core competencies that includes personal and organizational finance. I want every woman to know how to manage her money and manage the money of her business and her household. I'm just really passionate about this. Okay, those are just some of them. Now, I'm done with the BAs. We also have certificates, all right? So in the certificate world, we have the Certificate of Teaching Islam. So that's, if you already have a bachelor's degree, you can add to it a certificate in teaching Islam. And we have a certificate in the Arabic language. And what's it called here? Sorry, Arabic language and cultural fluency. So this is really good if you just want a certificate in the Arabic language and you want to have, this is really good for business women too, who want to work overseas. Maybe you want to travel to Qatar or somewhere like that. Maybe you want to teach overseas. A lot of jobs are available for teachers who want to teach in Muslim countries, especially the Emirates, Qatar, places like this, Jordan. Here with this certificate, you're going to be much more of a hireable person because you also have a background in the Arabic language. And then we move to our graduate certificate in Islamic Belief and Practice, our master's degree in Islamic Belief and Practice, and our doctorate of theology in Islamic Belief and Practice. Those are the degrees. I know that's a lot. It's a lot to think about, a lot to remember. I recommend everyone goes to the website and reads about them. We have our catalog up. You can read about the classes that are going to be available, and you can be really excited about the classes with me because I'm so excited about the classes.
That's what I've been doing. That's why I can't seem to figure out which one I want to do. I have like picking a checkerboard, a bingo board going on.
I love that.
Okay, so one is if I've got a master's.
Okay, I'm gonna read that just a minute, but I wanted to say hurry up because remember, applications for this first year close February 22nd. So you got to can't checker boxing for the rest of the month. Okay, you got to make a decision and apply.
Well, what if somebody is undecided? Can they apply?
Yeah, you can. You don't have to be decided. You need to know if you're doing the associate or the bachelor's, a certificate, of the master's or the doctorate. Other than that, you don't have to have more decisions than that. Okay.
Okay, perfect. And then so now, if I've got a master's in something that's not Islamic studies, and I haven't formally studied Islamic studies, can I apply for the THC?
You can definitely. If you haven't had, it depends on it. Like when you say you haven't formally studied, if you've spent many years in Islamic schools, you've got informal studies, you have a lot of knowledge, that might be the right place for you. I have designed the master's as a really strong introduction to the doctorate. So I do highly recommend the master's if you don't have a background, because part of the work in that master's program is really not only studying the academic subjects, but also doing a deep dive into our own tarbiyah and our own sort of muraqabah of the self and how to understand ourselves really well, which will be really helpful in the doctoral program.
Well, as you spoke about Arabic and the importance of Arabic and these things, like what if somebody's not fluent in Arabic? Can they still apply for the master's or the THD?
Yes. However, we do have graduation requirements for Arabic, so they would have to be working on their Arabic while working on their THD. So
Okay, those
while
can be done where and how would we get information on
our
this?
Arabic program is absolutely fantastic. It was designed by Dr. Anna-Marie Ramazanzadeh, who is an Oxford professor, specialist in Arabic as a second language. She's designed our Arabic language program. Our Arabic language program is available for Riverside students. It's available for all of our bachelor's, associate, everyone, our master's, everyone can take those classes. And for the student, and the program has been built as matched to ACTFL, which is the standardization system for Arabic language in the for foreign languages in the United States. So definitely that's the program I would recommend. Our program, if you've taken Arabic elsewhere, we do have the exams, the placement test, so that we can see what your Arabic level is.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and then somebody was asking, I haven't written a paper in a long time. What if I need help?
Okay, so we have a writing center we're developing. We have a whole student affairs division with a writing center, a reading center. Like, we want to help you learn. We are here to help you. We are here to make this a beautiful, fun, faithful experience. Our motto is that we're growing luminaries, Ribat luminaries. So if you're going to be a light for the world, you have to have a light in your chest. You have to have light inside. And that light doesn't come from bitterness. That light does not come from being bored. That light does not come from being burned out. It comes from joy and faith and optimism and courage. And so that's what you're going to find is the culture. We have, and as I said, we have a whole student affairs department waiting to embrace you and help you with your papers and everything else. And Nadia, I think I might do, if you don't mind, I think I'll sort of talk through what do you have to do. Those of you who are not sure what the application entails, can I talk them through that a little bit?
That's a very great idea. Yeah. You'll actually be talking me through it. So go for it.
Great. Okay. So be ready, go and be ready to get it done. You're going to start out by filling in your personal information. No big deal. You're going to include your education. You will want to have transcripts. Now, it's okay in this first stage to have unofficial transcripts. You can upload those, no problem. You will need official ones later. We will have to have the official transcripts, so you might want to start doing that work. But if you're not going to have those by February 22nd, that's okay. Get your unofficial transcripts uploaded. Any awards, certificates, all that stuff that shows us what academic work you've done in the past, you're going to upload it. Okay? Next, you're going to upload your CV. You probably have a CV all set. Maybe you don't. Oh gosh, I got to make that. You're going to upload your CV or your resume. Now, if you do not have, of course, a BA or whatever, then you're going to upload your high school diploma or your transcript, either one, depending where you're coming in from. Also, you're uploading, have I done Arabic before? In the past year, have you done an Arabic placement test with Ribat? You'll upload that. Have you done a Tajweed placement test? All this information, okay, about your educational background. Don't let that overwhelm you. If you don't have that stuff, it's okay. What we want to help you figure out what you need to study. So don't worry about that. Put up what you have. Then we have a really fun recommender section where we are giving you, we want 3, but we're giving you 4 possibilities. You can give a personal recommendation, an academic recommendation, a community or religious leader recommendation, and or a professional recommendation. So we want 3 of those. And we've done this especially because a lot of times women who are coming back to school, they might be missing an academic recommendation. Maybe they can't go back and talk to their college professor of 15 years ago. Well, we don't want to close the door for you for applying because you can't find that person. So we wanted to make sure that we had options available for everyone who wanted to apply. Then you answer a few short answer questions, and that's it, really. And you have, for the master's, there's a writing sample. We want a writing sample from you. And for the THD, there's another writing sample. Both of those are particular for the application, so you can check those out. But it feels sometimes overwhelming when you go in there, but I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. It's really not bad. When it asks you to choose a program, don't worry about that. You are not signing your life away in blood. If you say, oh, I want literature writing and publishing, and then you change your mind next week, you want something else, it's no big deal. You will not have to declare your major until your second year. Everyone, it's nice for us to know what you're thinking about, but it's not necessary at all. No problem. You can declare that in the second year.
Well, and somebody asked regarding referrals and recommendations. How are we submitting that? Are they turning in a form? Is there an email, a letter? What are we expecting?
When you go to your application, it will tell you how to do it. It'll be really clear and tell you what to do. And if you have specific questions about a particular person, maybe you have someone who you want them to write your recommendation, but they're no longer working at the university that you used to go to, you can always set up an appointment with Aunt Heather, our Dean of Admissions at Ribāṭ University Admissions, which is admissions@ribata.org. She has been meeting students almost nonstop. So she's very happy to meet with you and answer your specific and particular questions. But we're doing this here to try to help answer the bigger questions, also to free up some of her time so she can answer some of the more specific questions that people might have.
And so if somebody completes the master's, do these credits carry over to the doctorate program? It looks like there's some overlap in the electives.
Yes, is some overlap in the electives so that it can carry over in a certain way. I would have to answer that specifically looking at the person's interests in the THD level. So yes, I mean, generally, yes, our policy is we want to make this enriching, academic, but also reasonable. We want to be reasonable. So we want to give people credit for work they've done. We don't want anyone to feel like, oh no, I did all that work, it doesn't count anymore. But at the same time, we want you to take on fully the flavor of what we're offering so that when you graduate, you can fully represent Ribāṭ University to the world.
Yeah, and confidently show up every week.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Oh, are there going to be any zakat-based scholarships available for international students pursuing a bachelor's degree?
Okay, so we do have two types of scholarships available. We have need-based scholarships. The need-based scholarships are available globally for anyone who is eligible for those need-based scholarships. So that means that they are need-based. Okay. Now we're not calling them zakat-based, but we are accepting zakat for those, so they are zakat-based. But if you see them on the website, they are called need-based. All right. Then the other one is holistic scholarships. Those are not need-based. Those are instead based on, some people have provided scholarships. For example, we have a scholarship for women over 50. So you can apply for that scholarship. It's $2,000 a year. So that means of the $5,000, $2,000 would be paid for you. And then we also have some $5,000 scholarships that are available for people who are interested in community work and a few others. So we do have some other merit-based or holistic scholarships that address all the different aspects of what the donor what the person who has provided that scholarship is interested in making sure gets out to impact in the Muslim Ummah.
We have someone here who is speaking my love language. She wants all the degrees.
I'm so excited because that's what I want to, and I want to teach all the degrees. Ansi Iman and I, it's so funny because I'm like, I want to teach this, and she had to be like, can we talk about how many classes you want to teach? I don't think it's really possible. Can we have a conversation? Because I look through these and these are very much my interest areas. I'm actually reading in the majors right now. Like my reading for this year is I'm always choosing books within, like I go from one major to the next, choosing books in those different majors.
I love it. And then, so what did we have? Let's see. There's a few questions that were regarding the live situation, right? Because we're online, do students need to be attending live, or how does this work?
So similar to Ribat for our Ribat Academic Institute, for the most part, most classes will allow for students to attend the class as a recording. However, there will be some classes, especially in the upper levels, that may not always have that option. So if you are hoping to attend from another country, you need to understand that and know that, like especially the master, and maybe I'll say especially the doctorate as well, you may have to attend some of those classes live. But for the undergraduate degrees, for the most part, those will be available also as recordings. Now, we at Ribat, we know that the best class is the live class. But I have to say, Nadia, we've been saying this for many years. And last year, when I taught Aqidah, I actually had 59 students in that class.
Mm-hmm.
And those who attended every week were only about 23 or something. And I thought, may Allah forgive me, Allah afu anna, but I really thought, that means probably only 20 will finish the class. But actually, it was 59 or 58 or 59 students who finished that class, did all the work, which means they were attending. And so that really taught me that women who are serious, which our students are, they know how to manage an online class, even when they have to watch the recording. And we're getting better and better at it. And now that we have Canvas, we're even better at it, mashallah. So
I have a surprise for you, because I don't know if you saw, but our Dean of Admissions is here now.
That's awesome.
Welcome. Let her on stage.
Let's bring her right on here.
Oh.
Assalamu alaikum, Heather. I'll say, Heather, good to see you.
Wa alaikum assalam, everyone. How are you?
Good. We've been chatting about all the things with Ribāṭ University today. And we've got questions for you that we couldn't answer ourselves.
I want to ask Heather a question before you start peppering her with the audience questions, if you don't mind. Heather, what has been the thing that has brought you the most joy from this experience? And I would like to introduce you a little bit more. I'd like to say that Heather Sayed came to us as our very first admissions officer. We didn't even have an admissions office. And she built our admissions office and has been doing an incredible job. And you are a history maker, Heather. And mashallah, and now she is a dean of admissions. And so this has been a whole process. And when we've already accepted our very first few students, those who applied for the early admissions, and now, of course, the regular admissions close on February 22nd. So get your applications in, everyone. Finish the applications you started. We know you started them. We see them. Get them done. Finish them. But Heather, what has brought you the most joy in this whole process?
To be honest, meeting everybody. The meetings that I have with my one-on-ones, emails, when I'm at tabling events, just meeting the people all around, whether it's in Houston or it's in Chicago, Florida, the women that I've met even around the world online talking with me, hearing how excited that they are, how this is something that they've been wanting to do, and now the opportunity is here for them online, and they don't have to compromise, their responsibilities. They can do it from home. It's just been really exciting to hear people's whys, what's their motivation, and then how they just envision this being life-changing for them. So that's what's really exciting, just getting to meet everybody.
I love that. Allah bless you, inshallah, all the work that you've done to help this happen. And I'm so excited for our first class in the fall. And I know you also want to encourage those who have already started the application to get it done. And also those who are they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow, to get in there and get it done. Right?
Absolutely. Please. And if you have any questions, if you're still maybe feeling hesitant, just meet with me. We can go through the catalog together. We can, unpack what you're debating, because some women were like, I want to take it all, mashallah. So we can even think about that long term. Let's start at the beginning, and then what does the next few years look like? We can do that as well.
I love that. And also, actually, Nadia and I were talking about that before you got on. And, one of the things I said is that you can apply without deciding your major. You can apply as undecided. And then once you decide, you can do your electives. And you could do one elective in one major, another elective in another major, another elective, another one. So you get to have a flavor of all the ones. And I've had people tell me, I'm going to double major. So that's also everything is possible we're here for it. We're here for that joy and excitement around education. All right, Nadia, I'm going to let you bring out the salt and pepper now. Let's have the peppered questions.
Perfect. Let's see. Here's one. Is there a limit to how long I can work towards a degree, or can I work casually one class at a semester?
This is an excellent question. So something that I recommend is looking at what you could realistically do depending on if you're doing a certificate. Now, certificates, you can take one class at a time. You can take 2 classes at a time. That's fine. For your degree programs, you just want to make sure that you understand that there's a limit. So we've actually given a leeway, especially for part-time. If you're doing part-time, even for a bachelor's, it could take up to 8 years. We're giving that grace period. Even for the associates, if you're doing part-time, it could take up to 4 years. And the nice thing that I want to share is that we also have, fall and spring, but then there will also be summer courses that will be offered as well. So inshallah, that's to be announced, but you don't have to take summer courses. But if you want to be planning your year, know that there will be summer courses available as well.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. So I don't have references. Will my application be denied?
That's a good question. So what I'd recommend, because it is part of your application, we need to see you working in action, in the community. So you can even have personal references. So even if it's personal, professional, if you're not working or you've just started working, even think about, are you in the PTO? Are you volunteering at a food bank? Are you doing something during Ramadan at the mosque? I mean, these are all references that you can have. You just need a personal, professional.
A religious leader in the community, her imam could do it, right?
Yes, exactly. So definitely, I would not recommend not having any. Something is better than nothing, but it is part of your application. So please try to have references.
And one of the reasons, right, is that we want to make sure that you are a real human being who is applying for this university. And also we have rules we have to follow too with accreditations. So we have to ensure that you are who you say you are, that your transcripts are real and all of that. And I think also with recommendations, we learn something about you as well. And we get to find out, we get to see if we're a good fit for you. Like, we want you to be a good fit for us, and we want to be a good fit for you as well.
And with the letters of recommendation, I want to let you know that it's also not physical letters. We just need their emails. So we send them, it's called a referee form, and it's actually a quick survey style form, and then they have 3 questions that they can answer about you. So it's pretty fast.
Awesome. That makes it
that's good to know. I think that was one of the questions too. So
I couldn't answer it. So that's great. Thank you, Heather, for that.
And so we've got one more. Will it be possible to take some university courses outside of Riverstead before applying to the degree program? For example, a publishing course.
So that question is, can they take like a bachelor's level class and then decide to apply?
Like possibly coming from another university? Am I understanding that correctly?
No, I think she wants to take one of the classes, like a class from the literature writing and publishing department without applying first.
Well, we will have some of the university level coursework in Riverstead. So just keep an eye out for that come this fall, what classes will be there. And I would take a look at the degree program you're interested in. Again, meet with me and we can go over that as well, even getting closer to when we publish what Riverstead courses are being offered and then what could possibly be working towards a degree so you can see what it's like. But yes, there will be some bachelor level courses in the Riverstead.
Yeah, and if I can just say maybe another 2 words about that. So because Riverstead, remember, I mentioned earlier, but just to make it clear to everyone, Ribat Academic Institute is growing into Ribāṭ University. And under Ribāṭ University, we have the degree programs we've been talking about, Ribat Riverstead, which is the continuing education or adult learning. Now, in that adult learning, we want to make sure that the adults who are learning do have the opportunity to learn what they want. So under that, there are classes that can be taken for credit, even if you're not in a degree program yet. And those classes that can be taken for credit include, as Heather said, some of the classes in the bachelor's program. I also want to say we have under the umbrella of the university, the Senate Center. And the Senate Center is your ijazah in the Quran, ijazahs in hadith, and things like this. So that's also really exciting to be watching out for, because we are really morphing into a really history, a legacy building, inshallah, institution.
Inshallah. I loved this. Can you be a part-time student, or is that going to be actually Riversted?
So you can be a part-time student. That's fine. So again, that'll be for your associates and your bachelor's and your master's, and then certificates will be, you can take one course at a time, or if you're doing the THD, 1 to 2 courses at a time. So yes, you can definitely be a part-time student.
Yeah. I think as a by women, for women institution, we are really the places understanding women's lives and how life happens, And so I think that's just something to know and understand, that we're here to help you finish your program and help you through the program and help you make sure that it is a wonderful experience for you and your colleagues. Nadia, it's funny because I see you covering up Ribāṭ University here. I don't know if that's how it shows over on YouTube, but I thought I'd like to mention the logo, that beautiful logo, because not everybody will look at it and see that it is like it looks kind of like, you can see it as, if I'm pointing the right direction here. Whoops, wrong direction. Okay, something like this. Okay, anyway. It's like, did you see the Kaaba with the sun coming up behind it? So I just want everyone, there's other things you can see in this, and I love all that you can see. You can see a book. You can see there's a special tree that people make books from that grows in Malaysia. There's a lot of depth in this logo, but the thing that is probably the closest to my heart is the concept, the idea of the sun rising over the Kaaba, as we also grow our luminaries rising for the Muslim Ummah, to help this Ummah impact the Ummah in all the beautiful ways, inshallah, that the women will.
I actually, as you spoke about the beautiful yellow house and the magnolia tree that you were gifted with, it almost made me look at the logo through that lens too, because of the yellow and I almost started to vision that as you were talking about that story.
SubhanAllah. Yeah, it's kind of a orangey mango, right, with the purple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So I've been taking Ribat courses for the 5 years. Can I apply straight to the THD instead of the master's? I already have 2 masters.
MashaAllah. This is an excellent question. I would love to meet with you, because I don't want to give a straight answer of yes or no. I do need to see what courses you have taken with Ribat, because the THD is unique in the fact that you need to have foundational knowledge going in. You also need to have some Arabic and Tajweed fluency going in. I'd also need to see, do you have fiqh? Do you have Aqidah? These are courses that I would need to see what you've already accomplished, and then tell you what your next steps were. I'd like to share, we do have different options for admissions. So there's admitted with no conditions. You're just straight admitted. You have met all the requirements. Then there's admitted conditionally, meaning you may be accepted, but you might have to do additional coursework, maybe a few classes in addition to the coursework you're already taking. So you might fall into that category for the THD, for instance, admitted with conditions. Then there is admitted pending your letters of recommendation. And then there's also denied. So we would obviously want everybody to be admitted. So inshallah, let's go ahead and schedule that meeting so I can see what's best for you, because we'd like to get you in what's best for your program, inshallah.
Yeah. And just a reminder again, February 22nd, everybody. So get your work in. I know sometimes it feels like, I got a lot of time, but remember, Ramadan is coming. So once Ramadan hits, your schedule's going to change. So I highly recommend you sit down right now, wherever you are in the world, and see if you can get that done. Get started at least.
Well, literally, this convo is my push to wrap up my RU application and submit.
Cheddarific. It's a great name for it too. I love cheese. So that's awesome. I'm so happy, and I hope that that's the same for others. And for those of you who also were hesitant, should I apply or not? Please go ahead and apply. It's going to be a wonderful experience. You're watching history being made right now.
Inshallah. I want to thank both of you for being here with us. And Anse Heather, especially, we've got a few questions that keep asking about how to make appointments with you and if they have questions. So, what is the best way to contact you?
The best way is at admissions@ribata.org. And then I can send you my updated calendar. We can schedule a meeting. And then I can also answer questions. If you're interested in a specific program, I can send you the detailed information as well. You can email me as much as you want. I am here for you and I will answer your questions, inshallah.
I love it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anse Dr. Tamara Gray and Heather Al Sayed, for being here with us as we create history and pave the way for, inshallah, future luminaries.
I mean, thank you.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.